Well, everybody, I'm sitting here mic'd up again, so I guess that means I have a hot take to put on the internet for people to talk about, right? And you know, if you've already watched my YouTube short, my Instagram reel, my TikTok, we have way too many platforms to post on now, don't we? But it is true though, folks. The rumors are true. I am going to be moving from my S26 Ultra to a Google Pixel 11 Pro XL. There's way too many letters and acronyms here, guys. Come on, like shorten this crap up a little bit, please. I'm begging you here. And you might be saying to yourself, Terry, why? You've talked crap about the Pixel 10 before, the Pixel 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL, like benchmarks. Insert buzzword here. And you know why, you guys? Look, you are totally right about that. I am a hypocrite. I truly am a hypocrite, but I acknowledge that, and I will try to do better. But as it sits right now, though, y'all, the truth of the matter is that yes, I am moving to a brand new Pixel 11 Pro XL. I am trading in my S26 Ultra for it, so I truly am going all in. And as a matter of fact, I'm even getting a brand new Pixel Watch, the Pixel Watch 5, the bigger one. I think it's 45 millimeter or somewhere in there. What really sparked my interest in this new Pixel was all the negative press that it's been getting, saying that how it's nothing special, how nobody should buy it, how everybody should skip it. And if you already have a 10 Pro or 10 Pro XL or even the base model 10, I actually would tend to agree with that. If you already have that phone, going to an 11 or 11 Pro XL is not going to really be that big of an upgrade. And a lot of what they're doing in these updates, besides the new Tensor G6, of course, primarily their software updates. So I would imagine that as long as you keep your current Pixel device, a lot of these will be backported in future updates to your older device, again via a software update. So as long as the software updates aren't tied to new hardware improvements, I would just assume if you're on an older device, you should be good to go. But the truth of the matter here is, though, folks, is that there's quite literally nothing wrong with my S26 Ultra. I love this phone. I truly do think it is one of Samsung's best devices. But here's the thing, though, okay, folks? I'm actually treating this the same way I treated moving to an iPhone way back in the day with my very first iPhone, the iPhone XR, or XR, whatever you want to call it. And I called myself a tech enthusiast back then. I love tinkering with tech. I obviously love building my own PCs. I've done that for over 20 years now. But I was always an Apple hater. And oh my God, you have an iPhone? I don't even want to touch that thing. You know what I mean? I think I've talked about that in a prior video, you know? Well, I've never used a Google Pixel device ever in a personal capacity. Like, yeah, I've seen people use them. I've messed around with them at my local Best Buy, and I think they're really cool. But it's not fair to truly judge a device based off what I see other people talking about online. Because it's kind of like a movie review, right? You know, the critics could say, oh my Lord, this is the worst movie of the century, but then you and your friends go see it, and you have a great time, and you come out of the theater thinking, that was probably the best films I've ever seen in my entire life. Know what I mean? So I'm really big on my own personal experience, so that way there I can have firsthand knowledge to say to someone, hey, this may not be good, or this is good, and you should check it out, or more importantly, you should not waste your time. And I've been being honest here too, y'all. One of the biggest contributing factors to this move for me is Samsung themselves. I love Samsung. I've had their Galaxy Ultra line for the past few years, S23, S24, S25, now the S26, and of course I've broken up that cycle by picking up the iPhone Pro Max of that year just to have both platforms to tinker with and whatnot. But the truth of the matter here is, folks, is that I would not have gotten this S26 Ultra if I at least had an idea of when Samsung was going to bring out the beta for One UI 9. Like, I literally only got this phone strictly to try out the One UI 9 beta. That is the only reason why. Like I just said, if I would have had an inkling of any kind of leak online of, hey, this is when the beta for sure is coming to the S25 series, I would have kept my S25 Ultra. There was literally nothing wrong with that phone. It was paid off. I didn't have a phone payment. It was fantastic. But again, tech enthusiast, I am a tinkerer, and frankly, I just didn't feel like waiting. So that is the only reason why I actually bought this thing. And then there's my, initial impressions of the Galaxy Watch 9. It's fast. The heart rate accuracy and the built-in ECG accuracy actually is better than the 8. Not that much better, but it's way more accurate whenever I have wet hands. And now that I'm working in the service industry again, I'm serving tables again, when I'm at work, if I can feel my heart beating because of my AFib, I do actually take a step in back and just real quick for 30 seconds, take an ECG reading on my Galaxy Watch. And I have noticed that the 9 is more accurate with wet hands or whatever, like wet, greasy hands or sweaty arms, whatever, So that is a big thing for me, but it's not that big of an upgrade in terms of overall accuracy, you know what I mean? And I have to be honest with you all, I am genuinely not happy with the battery life on my Galaxy Watch 9 at all. Like, it's actually just straight up really, really, really bad. I charge it whenever I get home from work, and it's at about 25-30%. I put it on the charger as soon as I get home, and it charges all the way up to 100%. And I put it on right before I go to bed at, again, 100%. Go to sleep, wake up 7 or 8 hours later, and it's dropped like 30-35% battery life from 100 to 65, and I've waken up with it as low as 60% battery life for just wearing it in my sleep. Now, apparently there's an issue to where if you move your arm while you're sleeping, it will wake itself up, like, turn the display on because it's thinking that you're raising it up to see something. I haven't found a way to turn that off. And if there is a way to turn it off, do me a favor, sound off down below to let me know. I would really greatly appreciate that. But then again, though, I'm really not sure that raising your arm like that would be any real battery drain, because you are literally doing a function of the device. You are raising your arm up to see what time it is, to catch your alert or whatever it might be. So if doing that can drain the battery from 100% down to 60% in 7 or 8 hours of just sleeping, that's not good in my opinion. That's not good. Now granted, my other half, her Apple Watch 11, she put it on before bed last night at 100%. She came into my job to see me, and it was at like, I believe 7 o'clock, 6:30, somewhere in there, and she still had 35% battery after putting the watch on at like 12:30 in the morning the day previous to go to bed, and it was at 100, and it was at 100%. You know what I mean? So like, granted, again, Watch OS, Wear OS, I totally get that, but just to make the comparison, I'm like, yeah, this battery life is not that good, because the battery life on my Watch 8 would last me 3 or 4 days. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was that much better. So maybe it's a software bug, maybe they can just update that, patch it out, or I don't know what's going on. So maybe my new Pixel Watch 5 will just be that much better. And I have to be honest here too, folks, because of my AFib, EGC accuracy, heart rate accuracy really is a very, very important thing. Even though I got my ablation and I've been AFib free for going on around 2.5, 3 months now, it still kind of worries me, you know what I mean? So the fact that the Pixel line is even more accurate than anything Samsung has put out for ECG and AFib detection, that's going to be a big step up in my opinion as well too. And I know that I've gone on record saying that I do agree with everybody else out there that the Tensor G5 and now the Tensor G6, it's not a benchmark king. It's not going to, leave anything in the dust by any means. But what I am hoping with that is that, kind of like Apple, how they design their own hardware and software, I'm hoping Google is taking their Tensor G6 and really optimizing it for the latest version of Android, specifically on their hardware, to where it has good battery life, Everything is fast for what it is, especially in just, day-to-day operation. Like, how does the OS feel on the hardware itself? Is everything fluid, snappy? How are the animations? All that stuff, you know what I mean? So I really am looking forward to testing this thing out for you guys and gals, to let you know my thoughts and opinions after about a month or so of having the phone. But yeah, everybody, I really can't wait to get my hands on it. It should be here, I think I said by the 27th, so like another week and a half or so. But as soon as I get it, I will let you guys and gals know, and of course, I'll make a video updating you all on everything I think about the phone. But until then though, everybody, thanks a lot for coming by, and I'll catch you guys and gals next time.